Hello and welcome. My name's Heather. I'm a registered professional counselor and a certified life coach. I've had my private practice for about 9 years, and I'm a huge fan of Gilmore Girls. If you're new here, thank you so much for being here. My intention behind these videos is to bring a deeper understanding of the characters by using therapeutic theories and to hopefully reduce the stigma around therapy and reaching out for counseling, as anyone can benefit from these services. If this is something you support, please subscribe to my channel and be a part of this community. Today, I'm going to be analyzing the episodes where Lorelai and Max meet and agree to start dating. Let's get to the show.
I'm so sorry. I had a terrible pothole incident. You don't care. So please, go on.
Lorelai is attending a parent-teacher night at Chilton, and she shows up late. I feel like she hasn't had the best impressions with the school so far. Also, who puts a globe right beside the door?
Okay.
Uh-huh. I'll just sit now.
I don't think we've met.
Oh, I'm Lorelai Gilmore, Rory's mom.
Glad you could join us.
Max Medina is one of Rory's teachers at Chilton, and he seems like a really nice guy. You can tell that he cares about being an educator and that he really cares about Rory.
I'm Max Medina.
Nice to meet you.
I apologize for the behavior of some of our guests tonight. It's a tense time for some people.
The SAT season.
The waking hours.
It's clear that Lorelai and Max already have a connection, and that there's a sense of attraction between the two. Max also made a joke about the other parents because they were saying some rude things about Lorelai, and that Rory must be a scholarship student because Lorelai is very different from the other parents there, and by making a joke, Max is trying to make her feel more comfortable. So they chat a bit more and they share some witty comments, and Lorelai finds out that Rory got a D on a paper, so she rushes home to see her.
It was nice meeting you.
You too.
Keep up the good work.
I will.
Don't ever make coffee. Ever again.
I won't. I promise. Oh.
Oh. Thanks. Bye.
So this was the episode where a deer hit Rory while she was driving to the big test that all the parents were worried about at the parent-teacher conference. Essentially, Rory woke up late from a night of studying, drove her mom's Jeep to school, which, is she even allowed to drive by herself? I don't know if she has a license or not. Anyways, so she shows up late to school and was told that she wasn't allowed to take the test. And Lorelai shows up and gets upset with Max because he was following the school rules. In this next scene, we will see them meet shortly after that incident.
Good to see you, Lorelai.
Oh, good to see you, Mr. Medina.
Max.
Mr. Medina.
Max.
Mr. Medina, meet Suki, the chef at the inn. Suki, Mr. Medina.
What's your name again?
Mr. Medina.
I know, you've said it like a zillion times. Hello.
Hello.
We can see that Lorelai hasn't fully forgiven Max for not letting Rory write the test. And in the last episode, she said that she thought he cared about Rory and that she thought he was different. And by calling him Mr. Medina over and over again, she's wanting to make a point that they're not on friendly terms, and she tries to remain formal.
You know, Lorelai, I would love for the ice to thaw.
There's no ice.
Well, you repeated my full name 4 times. That's ice.
No, that's not ice. It's wintry.
I was doing my job.
Max received her message loud and clear. He reminds Lorelai that he was following the rules and doing his job, which I completely understand. As an educator, you're a person of authority, and you can't be giving special treatment to certain students, no matter how attractive you find the student's mom.
And I really do think Rory's a great kid, and I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure she gets through Chilton in one piece.
I appreciate that.
I think he does a good job trying to reassure her that he does have Rory's best interests at heart, and that he'll do his best to support her. Anyone else thinks that Max was a great teacher? Give me a thumbs up if you agree.
I'd like to see you sometime.
Are you asking me out on a date?
Yes.
Well, I don't want to go out on a limb here, but I'm guessing if the headmaster won't let a kid be 30 seconds late for a test, he'd probably frown on a teacher dating a mom.
Max is asking Lorelai out, and she's hesitant. She's concerned around the rules or policies around the parents dating the teachers. And I'm sure she's also thinking about Rory and how she might feel about this. There's also a lot of potential complications that may happen if they start dating, and Lorelai is just trying to be realistic. Max tries to convince Lorelai that there's nothing that formally states that a parent cannot date a teacher, and I would also imagine it would be an unwritten rule because then there's a dual relationship, and that can get really complicated, and we'll see examples of that later on in the show.
There's nothing in the Chilton Book of Ethics that prohibits it.
Yeah, but I'm guessing it's sort of an unwritten one.
You like coffee?
Only with my oxygen.
Can we drink some together? A sort of pre-date. Very casual, no strings, no obligations.
So Lorelai tells Max where and when she goes for coffee, and that if they happen to run into each other, then she won't ignore him. So this is a sign that there's a part of her that actually does want to go out with Max, and she's curious as to where that may lead them.
Lorelai?
Max, hi.
Small world, huh?
Absolutely. What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Plain coffee?
Well, I wanted some cream, but that prompted a very elaborate foam conversation.
Whenever we see them interact, they have a witty banter that goes back and forth between them. It shows that they're on the same speed in terms of thought process and communication styles. And I think that's one of the reasons they're so attracted to each other.
I think we should date.
Why?
Because we're clearly attracted to each other.
Well, I'm attracted to pie. It doesn't mean I feel the need to date pie.
This is one of my favorite quotes of the show, and I wish I could use this naturally in a conversation.
I know that you are concerned about the appearance of us dating.
Yes, I am.
It's good that Max is bringing up some of the worries or concerns Lorelai has around them dating. And it's a good sign that he understands what those concerns are, so he can try to address them. They spend more time discussing why they should date and that they would be really careful and discreet.
Maybe dinner wouldn't be such a bad idea.
Dinner? You mean we could sit together, even drive together?
Just take the card.
I might frame the card.
Lorelai agrees to go out to dinner with Max, and they made plans to go on Thursday night. However, Babette's cat Cinnamon passed away that day, and she and Rory were so busy organizing the wake and emotionally supporting their neighbors that Lorelai completely forgot about her date with Max, and Rory sees him arriving at their house. At this point, Lorelai also hasn't told Rory about dating Max.
Max, I should have called you sooner, but
You're canceling.
I know it's totally last minute. We had a little emergency.
Max is clearly disappointed, but he's overall understanding. He wants to make sure that the emergency wasn't about Rory, and when Lorelai told him about Cinnamon, he was skeptical and thought that Lorelai was making up excuses to not date him.
Call me and we'll reschedule. I promise that's what I want.
Are you sure?
Cross my heart and hope that no other neighborhood pets die on that day.
Okay, I'll call.
They've agreed to reschedule, and Lorelai assures Max that this is something she wants to do. I can understand why he thought Lorelai was making up excuses to not go on a date with him because of the concerns that she's had, but it seems like they have a clear understanding of each other. Now, Lorelai needs to talk to Rory about why Max was there.
How long have you been dating him?
I haven't. This was going to be the first time.
And when were you planning on telling me about this? On your wedding?
No, by the rehearsal dinner at least.
So, we've seen this technique before, when one uses humor to diffuse an argument. It's an effective repair tool according to Gottman and his research around couples and communication. However, the timing of when you use humor is also important to note. In my opinion, Lorelai used it too soon in this interaction because Rory is in a heightened emotional state and she's just been blindsided with the fact that her mom is dating her teacher, and we see that she's slightly raising her voice.
He teaches me things. Every day, in a very small classroom with a lot of other kids who probably aren't going to be high-fiving me when they find this out.
I know, sweetie, and I told him that this was one of the things I was concerned about.
And?
And he felt we could be discreet.
Rory has every reason to feel whatever it is she may be feeling. She's obviously very concerned about how the other students will react if they find out that her mom is dating her teacher. Keep in mind that Rory is still a new student at Chilton. She's trying to navigate the homework and the new expectations of the school. She's probably experiencing some feelings of grief because she misses her old school and Lane, and she's dealing with her feelings around Dean because they haven't started dating yet, and she's going through her awkward teenage phase when it comes to boys. She's got a lot going on, and now having to deal with the fact that her mom is dating her teacher, it's a lot to take in.
Mad?
Yes.
Right. Because I'm dating him?
Because you lied to me.
I kept information from you.
Information that I should have had.
Lorelai checks in with how Rory is feeling and directly asks her, "Are you mad?" and then asks if it's because she's dating Max. Rory says it's because she lied, and Lorelai tried to justify the situation by saying she withheld information from Rory. I mean, this is still considered a lie. Half-truths is still a full lie, and lying is one of the worst things in relationships because it erodes the trust.
I just can't believe that you didn't tell me about this. Why wouldn't you tell me?
Because I thought you were going to take it bad. Thank God I was wrong.
I know that there was a lot going on, and maybe that prevented Lorelai from telling Rory, and she just didn't see that it was a priority. Or maybe she wanted to wait until her date with Max was over to see if it was worth continuing to date him before she tells Rory. Lorelai is still trying to use humor, but I think another approach would have been for Lorelai to say, "Rory, you're right. I should have told you what was going on. I was just worried about how you would react, and I didn't want to tell you until Max and I knew for sure what this all meant. I can understand if you feel hurt that I kept this from you," or something like that.
Listen, I'm sorry. I won't date him. I promise.
I'm not saying that you can't date him.
Rory essentially gave her blessing for Lorelai to date Max. I think she made it clear that the issue isn't so much about them dating, but it was that Lorelai wasn't honest to Rory about the situation.
I really like him, Rory. I can't help it. And it's been a really long time since I felt like this. You can't always control who you're attracted to, you know?
Lorelai is sharing how she feels about Max, and she reveals that she hasn't felt this way in a long time and that she really likes him, which can help Rory understand that there is a deep connection between the two and that Lorelai isn't dating Max for the sake of dating someone.
I won't keep anything from you again, okay? I promise. From now on, every aspect of my life is an open book to you.
It's okay.
Good. So there's a clear resolution. Rory has made it clear that she doesn't want Lorelai to keep anything from her, and that she's okay with the idea of her and Max dating. And Lorelai has apologized for not telling Rory about her and Max in the first place, and promises to not keep anything from her again. This interaction gets a counselor stamp of approval. If you have any scenes or relationships you'd like me to analyze, leave your suggestions in the comments below. Next week's episode, I'm going to take a closer look at Lorelai and Max's relationship as they start dating, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss that episode. In the meantime, take a look at my other Therapist Reviews videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, be kind and love yourself.